Welcome to Jessie Cars. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is the all-new Chevy Trax. It is misery season in Canada, weather-wise, but thanks to the all-new Chevy Trax, you don't have to be miserable when being economical on your car choices. All new, all cool, perhaps. That was a terrible line, I just gotta say that.
All cool.
We're gonna take a look at the exterior first, then we're gonna take a look at the interior, then we're gonna drive it and see if this is worth the little amount that Chevy wants for it. We're gonna get into the price at the very end because that might be a surprise to you. Starting off though with the exterior.
The color.
Crimson metallic. It doesn't say red, it's crimson metallic, but
the red's self-implied, I guess.
yeah, it's a very nice color. I like the bright and the dark spot. Looks great.
Especially with these lines, you kind of see different shades of red, like you were saying. It's nice.
It's very well styled. Usually like economy cars and some of the ones we've driven this year look very blobby and bland. And like, some people want that, fair enough. But I appreciate, you know, a little swagger, a little style.
And this front end has swagger and style.
I love this.
Ironic.
I love these lights. Looks great. If you get the active trim, this is the 2RS, you can get the whole front essentially blacked out and more black accents. It is, I think, people that want to have a cheap car, you know, they tend to be younger. They want to have a little more, you know, lifestyle, a little more.
And yeah, again, these lights right here, they kind of do something. It's like aggressive, stylish. It looks nice.
Some Camaro vibes, I find.
Wow.
Like
Camaro.
a tiny little bit. Tiny little bit.
Relax, Eric.
I love the Camaro. The wheels, I think they're decent.
They're basic, little two-tone action going on. Not great, not bad. It works.
I think that's fair. Side profile, well, so this is actually fairly long for a subcompact SUV, but
It looks nice up until here, and then
it kind of starts to get like a little squishy down here. Where it's like, and as we keep moving along the back, I think some of the styling falls off.
Yeah, in contrast to the front, this kind of lacks inspiration to me.
Yeah, like the front was so nice, like kind of edgy a little bit, creasy, and this is just kind of blobbing.
It has this kind of poked out back. I don't know, it's kind of a little off.
It is a little off, I agree. Overall though, I still like the looks of the new Chevy Trax. I think it's one of the best looking like economy cars.
I agree.
But is the interior good? We shall find out.
Yeah, let's warm up, please.
Okay, inside
it's
the
warm.
Chevy Trax. Yeah, warmer. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, obviously already activated. And
I have to say, these seats are pretty comfortable.
These seats are quite comfortable, and it looks really good.
I don't, honestly, like at first glance, no complaints. Minus, well, you know what I'm gonna say.
Say it.
Oh, the piano black.
Yeah, there's a lot of piano black. Like I don't mind this, even though this is very filthy right now. I don't mind this too much, but down here is where
I got it.
That's where you're gonna spill your coffee on and all that. But I like the steering wheel. Looks really cool. Like it feels nice. We do have some.
Look nice.
They look really nice. The RS
like
logo.
you would expect cloth at this price point, which again we'll talk about later. But they look really nice. The infotainment looks very modern.
It looks great. You have the digital gauge cluster, which I was stuck in the other screen for a while, in like the trip screen, because I just couldn't for the life of me figure out how I changed the screen until one day it was in a different screen, because it was like I do the scroll wheel and but it's like, okay, I guess it's just one, until I figured out you have to hold this. It's not very intuitive, but
it's a little UX issue, but
yeah, but you have other options. The infotainment is like a reduced version of the Chevy GM infotainment from the new one we know. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless. This doesn't have the Google Maps and all that integrated, because that obviously costs a little more to integrate. The only issue I have is usually I can take my Android Auto and put it on my sidebar here on the side.
You can't do that.
I can't do that here for some reason. Like I can readjust all of these, but I guess because this is the home screen, so like there's nothing else but this home screen. So I can just do tap tap if I'm in my music, for example. So it's like it adds one tap. I don't mind it too much. We got Sirius XM, which is the important part, and it's still an economy car. You're like, yes, you're gonna have some scratchy plastics.
But the thing is, like, that's not something that is a deal breaker. Again,
exactly.
If you're getting a car like this, you don't care about these things.
Yeah, no, it's like the important part is that the stuff you actually interact with, like the steering wheel, like the seats, and like up here, but it's soft touch and all that.
And even here, they found a way to make the hard plastic actually look decent. You got a little pattern here. It's not bad.
Oh, and I love the vents. Like, look at these.
Yeah,
the vents are so cool.
I mean, again, a little cheaper, but again, I don't care in this category.
They feel solid. Like the actual adjustment feels solid.
I like the red accents around. You got red accents here, red accents on the seats, red RS accents.
And you know what's really cool? If you get the Active, you get it yellow accents.
I mean, I know you love yellow. It's not my thing.
You get this car in yellow. So
Eric always likes the feminine touch, you know?
That's not what I'm saying. Listen, I'm just in tune with No, whatever I say just makes it
Your
worse.
sexuality? Yeah, exactly. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
And we got a sunroof. Let's talk about the back seats, which are unreasonably good.
It doesn't make sense how much leg room there is back there. I
Subcompact.
can literally like, I'm like not super tall, but I'm like average height, and I can stretch my legs right
Yeah,
out.
like there's enough space in there that you can literally sit down like sideways on the floor.
Right,
Like
pretty much.
easily. It's actually unreasonable. The seats are pretty comfy, I find.
USB-C, USB-C.
USB-A, USB-C.
Sorry, USB-A, USB-C, but no fold-down cup holders.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's a little like, I guess that's once again pricing, but I would have been able to spend a little more on
I
that.
had $100.
Because no cup holder. You have your sides for like stuff like this, right? Where you can do it from the door cubby. But like actual cups, can't really put in there.
I do think that's kind of like, again, it's a small thing, but it's kind of a very something that's key for
It's
like
very
a family.
crucial. Yeah, that's really my only complaint. Otherwise, though, because we don't have all-wheel drive, we don't have a transmission tunnel, so even a fifth passenger will have no struggle.
We'll be comfortable,
being comfortable in here. And trunk-wise, we have 25.6 cubic feet of space, and if you put on the second row seats, you get 54.1 cubic feet, which is
Fairly
actually
good.
a lot of space. You had an interesting idea, though. I don't know if that works mechanically, but in terms of like some of the assortment.
Yeah, I mean, we could have given up some legroom and gotten more trunk space.
Yeah, like I don't know like the mechanics behind it, if it's easy to just move that forward, but technically like we could easily lose like 2 or 3 inches of legroom.
Maybe more.
And give us even more trunk space. Like this is not a criticism from me, it's just like an idea. We don't have grocery bag hangers in the back, a minor complaint.
Deal breaker, don't buy the car, don't buy
But
it.
extremely well packaged and like spacious in here.
There's not anything wrong. There's nothing wrong here. How many ports we got up here actually? We got a wireless charger, yeah.
Wireless charger, which also isn't standard on some cars we have these years. USB-A, USB-C, we have our 140 or 12 volt or whatever it is. Like,
Considering the C43 that we just had, it had one port in the entire car. The entire car.
and no wireless charger.
No wireless charger.
There you go. Do you take a C43 or the Trax? The Trax is clearly superior in every way.
Oh man.
Well, but jokes aside, often these SUVs fall apart once you hit the road.
Let's hit the road, Jack.
Okay, out in the Chevy Trax. Let's see if this can convince even out on the road. We have traction control and stability control off because this is so powerful. We definitely
We're
need
about
that.
to go warp speed.
No sport mode, but brake torque. Oh,
Okay.
I actually spun the front wheels a little, I
To be
think.
honest, that's faster than I thought it was gonna be.
No, this is actually way faster than I thought it would be. That's actually not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Okay, let's turn it back on. So, selection unavailable under current conditions. So apparently I can't turn my traction control back on when driving. This is why we need buttons, folks. Because I'm not allowed to use my touchscreen to turn back on my traction. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Anyhow, we have a 1.2 liter turbocharged inline 3 producing a whopping 137 horsepower and 162 pound-feet, pardon me, of torque.
Yeah. There we go.
Making this actually, horsepower-wise, the slowest car on the channel ever.
Does that mean
actually,
it's the worst car? Doesn't mean it's the worst car.
Exactly. And actually, at 8.8 seconds, it's not the slowest by speed. I think that title goes still to the HRV, to the Venerable.
So it's the lowest output, but not the slowest.
Yeah, it's the lowest output, and we usually have the issue with these kinds of engines is that you have to work them so hard that the fuel economy completely goes out of the window. I think the Yonker went at
Buick.
11.
Yeah.
that was 11 liters per 100 kilometers, almost as bad as an F-150.
It's not. There's no reason for that.
And this one is quite nice. So right now, of course, because we're idling a lot, I'm sitting at around 9 liters, but based on my own driving, I know that you can easily get this under 8 liters per 100 kilometers, which actually is
Anything in the
pretty
sevens is good.
right. And what I do know is because we only have a 6-speed automatic, we don't have more gears. On the highway, it does run a little higher, so fuel economy isn't perfect. But we always do a little bit of a handling test, so let's see how it does. Of course, we're on winter tires, so we ought to be a little more careful than we can be in warmer climates. But let's send it in. Power me out. Powers me out. Bit of understeer.
I mean,
It's not sporty, but you know, we didn't flip. We didn't understeer into a ditch. I'm good with that.
even though it's called the Trax, you're not going to be taken on a track.
we're not taking
No tracks.
on the tracks. And lastly, with the engine, I just want to say, I actually don't mind it. I find it has, like on paper, it doesn't have the power, but once you're actually out, just like we mentioned a lot, it actually kind of has.
It's sufficient.
It's sufficient. But do you want to drive?
Yes. So yeah, stepping into this for the first time, the first thing I'm noticing is the pedal's a little bit. There's about 2 inches of play where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit odd, a little gooey. I don't know if that's the word I used to describe it, but a little bit loose.
I prefer that over like it being overboosted though.
Like my brother, he has a Nissan. What is it? A Micra?
I think is it a Versa or Micra?
Oh, sorry, the Versa, and it's like you touch the pedal and it just jerks you back in your
Screams
seat.
to life.
It's terrible, and the brakes are also terrible on that thing.
Yeah, the brakes on this are also decent. I find them like it's a little tough to know where you're braking, but at least it doesn't like jerk to a stop right away. But what I find is quite nice about this, within of course the price point we're working at, is the suspension. Like, yes, you do feel some imperfections, but overall, even throughout city, and Toronto is very puddle-ridden, I find it to be actually quite comfy.
Let me see how these brakes work here. Not too bad.
Right?
Not too bad. We've definitely driven cars that were far worse.
Yeah. And
All right,
gun
let's
it.
gun it. Oh, baby. Raw power. Oh, man. I'm going to pull up next to cars on the red lights with this one. But in all seriousness, you don't expect, right? It's just one of those things where it gets you from A to B. It has enough power.
Fuel efficient at the same time.
You're buying a car like this because you're looking for a value and fuel efficiency.
Exactly, and that's what you're getting. Ride quality, I think, is good, and so is noise. It never gets loud, really.
It's very good with noise. Is very good.
Right? I was actually kind of shocked on getting into this because we've been in much more expensive cars that were much louder, and I don't think anything within this segment is really this quiet. It is quite refined.
Quite.
Quite refined, and tech-wise, this is pretty well spec'd as well. So we got emergency braking, we got
Lane keep
assist, adaptive cruise control. We of course have parking sensors and all that. Like, it is really good, especially adaptive cruise control is what you don't really often get
at this price point.
Cars.
Yeah,
and we have all that we need. We even have a Wi-Fi hotspot in the car. So, but yeah, even now it's quiet. Look, it's
really quiet.
It's really quiet in here, and I'm noticing how much room there is in this car. Yeah, so
it drives nice. It's a good cruiser.
Right? And I think we can already come to the conclusion with that.
Okay.
In your head, you think about a price, what you think this is if you don't already know. As spec, top spec.
Before he says it, when I first got into this car today, and full disclosure, this is my first time driving this car, Eric asked me what I thought this car was priced at, and I overshot by like 8,000? Maybe
Something
more?
like that. Maybe that. Yeah, something like that. So this, as fully spec'd out, is priced at $32,089 Canadian.
And that makes this basically the cheapest car we've ever reviewed. We had one that was cheaper. What was it, the Soul?
I had the Soul and the Sentra, but that was a 2020 Sentra. So
Which, I mean,
4
inflation,
years, and those 4 years. So yeah, and this also includes $400 off an interblock heater and cargo organizer, which we don't even have in the back. So this can be had for like $31,600.
Like,
that is ridiculously good.
In 2023, any car, even cars that don't have all the features that this does.
Like, it has everything you need in a car. It looks good. It's fuel efficient.
It drives good.
It drives good. It is quiet and refined for the price point. You have your Android Auto and all that. This is
wireless.
I'm quite shocked. Like, unibody, like domestic SUVs are not good usually. They're garbage. You usually want to go with like a Hyundai or a Kia or all that. But I guess Chevy didn't get the memo for this and just decided to make a really, really good subcompact SUV.
I even said to Eric, I almost feel like they're pushing this out there and almost losing money just to get people into their ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm really wondering, like, that might actually be the case because this is so cheap.
It wouldn't be unheard of. Like,
they might want to get you in early so they can sell you a Silverado in 10 years when you have more money and make the margins on that, because like even the packaging, like, this is so...
It looks really nice.
I'm quite shocked.
And its biggest competitor for us would be the Soul,
which we've tested, that bright blue Soul,
which has pretty much the same feature set minus the wireless Android Auto and CarPlay. But I personally think this looks better.
I agree. I prefer
both exterior and interior.
Interior, I like this definitely a lot more. Exterior-wise, it's probably subjective, but I kind of describe it. I feel like this is the male equivalent of the Soul. I'm not saying that men can drive a Soul, Like, I think it's a quirky, fun-looking car, but the Soul generally is a little more feminine in its looks. This is a bit more aggressive, a bit more masculine.
I think this was just packaged better, personally.
And the packaging is really, really good. Like, the second row seat is definitely, like, space is definitely superior to the Soul. There's really no complaint. This is a fantastic vehicle. Totally did not expect this coming into this week, that I'm really gonna like this. And there is, after all, a GC Cars Awards for value, so we'll see. There's a couple of good competitors this year, but you know, make sure to check that out. But
Chevrolet nailed it. You nailed it.
I agree. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching.
If you guys enjoyed it, as always, tune in because we're dropping a new video every week. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff.
Hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell. Thank you, and goodbye.
See ya.